If you guys pay attention for 2 seconds and look behind me, you guys will notice that I rearranged my slabs. I brought some new ones up from downstairs and then I just rearranged them and it looks absolutely fantastic. I do kind of miss the Dan Hip one over here, but come on, the Supergirl right there is so freaking good. But guys, make sure you guys are sticking around to the end of the video to find out if you guys won last week's giveaway, but also how to win this week's giveaway. All right guys, let's go ahead and dive into today's video. What is going on, comic book fans? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Wednesday pull list, which is your hype video for this week's new comic day, which is October 4th of 2023. Guys, yesterday, October 2nd, was Stephanie's birthday. Babe, happy birthday. I know I said it to you yesterday in person, but I want to say it to you live on the internet right now. I love you so much. You are the most amazing woman, and happy birthday. But guys, this is your Wednesday pull list, your hype video for New Comic Book Day. I'm gonna get you so pumped and so excited to get down to your local LCS or to go online and order some of these comic books that I'm gonna talk about in today's video. This is a video where I read the previous issues to the books that are on my pull list, and I give you my top 3 anticipated stories, my cover lover picks, the almost top 3, and also the chopping block. But let's not waste any more time and check out my pull list. So guys, I've actually been able to whittle down my pull list to around 16 comic books each and every single week. And guys, these comic books right back here are 16, but you guys can't see what those books are, so let me go ahead and throw it up on screen right now. Now, like I said, there are 16 comic books on my pull list. There are 2 new number 1s, and there are 8 DC books, 3 Marvel books, and 6 independents. Another week where I'm really heavy on DC, and that's almost gonna be every single week. I'm a huge DC fan, and I just love reading the books over at DC Comics right now. But guys, there is one comic book out of the 16 that I did not read, and I'm really disappointed in myself. Somehow, I did not pre-order The Plot Holes, even though I talked it up so much, but when this book was on previews, somehow I missed it. I've already ordered the covers that I really wanted for issue number 1 from mycomicshop.com, so that way they will come in before issue number 3 comes out, so that way I can be caught up. I will have read issue number 1 and issue number 2, but The Plot Holes by Sean Gordon Murphy, one of my favorite creators of all time, somehow I missed that book. I am very disappointed in myself. You guys should be very disappointed in me as well. So that is the one book that will not be on the top 3 because I somehow did not order it. But guys, that is my pull list. Let's go ahead and find out what books, if any, are on the chopping block. Week after week, even month after month, there's been very few books on the chopping block, and that is a godsend to me because I do not like chopping books for my pull list, even when I'm trying to whittle down, because I love reading amazing stories, and comic books have some of the best stories out there. But there are 2 books that are on the chopping block this week. One is going to be chopped, and one I'm just super disappointed in the story, and I want to talk to you guys about it. And the first book up that is going to be chopped from my pull list is going to be Red Goblin. Now this book started off really well. I loved the story. I love the idea of Normie Osborn having his own symbiote that is not connected to the hive mind. I thought they could have done something really cool there. But no, it's the same rehash of this symbiote going out of control and him not being able to control it, and it's just the same rehash of the symbiote, and it's boring and I don't like it, and the artwork really isn't that great in my opinion, and I'm gonna chop it from my pull list after these next 2 issues come in, and I'm not gonna pre-order anymore. Now, the other book that I want to talk to you guys about is a book that I am going to continue collecting because it's my favorite character, and I'm never going to drop this book from my pull list, and that is Batman. Now, this book is written by Chip Zdarsky, and it does have art by Jorge Jimenez, and Jorge Jimenez is one of the main reasons why I'm staying on this title, besides Batman being my favorite character. But the story by Chip Zdarsky, it just feels like a rehash. We have Batman going up against his family once again. That's the story. That's the basic story right now. They're pushing Selina and Bruce apart, and the Bat family has to choose sides. Has this happened before in the past? It sure has. It seems like it happens every few years. The Bat family gets in some big crisis and everyone goes against Batman, and Batman stays this really grumpy character who can't see past his own stubbornness. It's really annoying. Do something original. Do something different. I'm so sick of the same rehash. It just seems like the same thing over and over again. I'm not going to put all the blame on Chip Zdarsky. I'm sure DC Comics has a large say in what he's going to do with the character, but come on. This story isn't very good. I understand why a lot of you really aren't enjoying the story right now. There are some really cool covers still coming out for this title, and Batman is my favorite book, so I am going to continue collecting it, but I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in you, DC Comics, and I'm disappointed in you, Chip Zdarsky, because I had high hopes for you coming onto this book, and I just feel let down right now. Guys, let me know down in the comments below what you think about the current Batman story, if you guys are reading it. Are you guys chopping it from your pull list? Are you continuing on like I am because you are as stubborn as Batman? Guys, let me know down in the comments below. But let's go ahead and move over to the bright and shiny books that are my cover lover picks. I just scrolled over all the books on my cover lover list this week. Almost every single book is a ratio book or an exclusive. There's only one book that is an open order variant, which is pretty crazy because normally I have a bunch of open order variants in some ratio books. But this week, ratio books reign king. But let's go ahead and dive into this list. And the first one up is Transformers issue number 1. I'm over the moon excited for this book. But guys, this is the cover G. This is the 1 in 50 ratio variant done by Francis Manapul. This is my favorite cover outside of cover A or the ash can for this title. This cover is just gorgeous. I love it, but I would like to know what your favorite Transformer cover is. If you guys are excited for any of these covers, down in the comments below. But let's go ahead and move on. Next up is Poison Ivy issue number 15. Now this is the cover B, but I really like the 1 in 50 Virgin variant over the cover B. Even though they're the same artwork, I just like the Virgin a little more. But guys, let's go ahead and go to the next one, and it is Shazam issue number 4. Now this is the cover F, which is the 1 in 50 ratio variant done by Geraldo Perel. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. And this cover is just really cool to me. It kind of has like an older vibe, maybe like Golden Age or Silver Age vibe to it. It is just really cool. The artwork is beautiful, and I just like it, and that's why I'm sharing it with you guys. But let's go ahead and move on. Next up is Fire and Ice, Welcome to Smallville, issue number 2. Now this is the cover C, which is the 1 in 25 Joshua Swaby Sway cover. It's gorgeous. What is not to like about these covers? These Fire and Ice covers have been so good. But guys, there is another one coming up for this issue that's even better. But let's go on to the next one. Next up is Vampirella Dead Flowers issue number 1. This is the Ben Cadwell exclusive variant. Now, there are a few shops I believe you can pick this up from. I picked it up from the 616 Comics. It's my shop for exclusives, and I just love this cover. Now, Ben Cadwell did do a very similar cover for a Vampirella book last year. I bought it. It's gorgeous, and this year is just slightly different. The last year's had like 2 little kids on it that were trick-or-treating with Vampirella, and this year the kids are now like zombies and Vampirella's a little more exposed, and I love both of these covers, and I'm sure these will be submitted at some point in the future, and during Halloween they'll be up on the wall. But guys, let's move on because there's still 3 covers that I really like, and the next one up is Birds of Prey issue number 2. Now, this is the cover D, which is the 1 in 25 ratio variant done by Chris Bacalao. I freaking love it. It's got Zella on the cover. She's like flipping upside down. She's shooting a gun. That's right, shooting. This is how you shoot, I guess. It's gorgeous. I freaking love it. It's so good. I'm a big Chris Bacalao fan. He's not for everyone, I'm sure, but I love this cover. But guys, the next 2 covers are my favorite covers of the week. The first one up is the open order book, which is absolutely gorgeous. It is Fire and Ice, Welcome to Smallville, issue number 2, the cover B done by Greg Smallwood. Look at this cover. How gorgeous is this cover? Hands down, freaking amazing, and I love that it's open order, so that means so many people can get their hands on this book. But do I wish it was a little higher ratio so that way this book was a little more rare? Sure, but I just love the artwork, and I would love for this book to get out into more people's hands, because who doesn't love this cover? I don't know. If you don't like it, let me know down in the comments below. And the next book is a ratio book, and I think it's my favorite cover next to this one. I don't know. I can't decide between these 2. But this is Birds of Prey, issue number 2, the cover E, which is the 1 in 50 Otto Schmidt variant. This features Black Canary blowing some bubblegum with some villains behind her that she totally kicked their asses. And it's amazing. Otto Schmidt doing an amazing job with an amazing character, making her look sexy, but not like overly sexy, just a little bit, just enough to make it one of my 2 cover lover picks of the week. Guys, I would love to know your favorite down in the comments below. But guys, let's go ahead and move on to the next section, which is my new number 1 that I think you guys just have to be excited about. There were two new number ones on my pull list this week. Gods issue number 1 from Marvel Comics and Transformers number 1 from Skybound. And hands down, Transformers number 1 is my new number 1 that I think you guys just have to be over the moon excited about. Now, I am an 80s kid. I grew up watching Transformers. The Transformers movie is like ingrained in my brain. It is so good. I remember going down to my local video shop and like scouring through their Transformers VHSs and picking up new ones like every chance my parents let me. Transformers were a huge part of my childhood. And I'm so excited that Robert Kirkman and Daniel Warren Johnson are bringing them back and bringing them back big and hopefully bold. Putting a creator like Daniel Warren Johnson on this book is just like, it's a godsend. He's one of my favorite creators, and I say that a lot because there are a lot of amazing comic book creators, but Daniel Warren Johnson is one of the best. When he gets his hand on a title, it is just mind-blowingly good. If you guys didn't read Wonder Woman Dead Earth, read that title. That is a Wonder Woman title that everyone should read because it is a book that makes you just like care for that character and makes her a complete badass, and it is so good, and his artwork is amazing, and he's coming to Transformers. I don't think I have to say anymore, but let's go ahead and read the synopsis. The all-new Transformer era starts here. Superstar creator Daniel Warren Johnson of Do a Powerbomb and Wonder Woman Dead Earth, alongside Energon Universe showrunner Robert Kirkman, which obviously he's done Void Rivals, Invincible, Walking Dead, and so many other titles, reimagines Hasbro's robots in disguise for a brand new generation. Optimus Prime was supposed to have led the Autobots to victory. Instead, the fate of Cybertron is unknown, and his allies have crash-landed far from home alongside their enemies, the Decepticons. As these titanic forces renew their war on Earth, one thing is immediately clear: the planet will never be the same. New alliances will be struck, battle lines will be drawn, and humanity's only hope for survival is Optimus Prime. Discover the Transformers like you've never seen them before. From Daniel freaking Warren Amazing Johnson. I'm over the moon. I'm just so excited to get my hands on this book. I obviously actually pre-ordered this book, not like Plot Holes. I can't believe I did not pre-order that book. That is just like beyond crazy to me. But this book, when it comes in, I'm so excited. I will get this next week. It's gonna be the first book I read next week, and it's just, I can't wait. I can't freaking wait. But that is my new number 1 that I think you guys just have to be excited about. Let's go ahead and see what books made the almost top 3. There are 2 books on the almost top 3. These stories are so good. They just didn't have that little extra to make it to the top 3. But the first book up is going to be The Sacrificers, issue number 3. I read issue number 2 yesterday. Now this is from writer Rick Remender. It has art by Max Fumera, and the story is really interesting. I'm really excited to see where this story is going to go, because there's these characters that are going to be sacrificed for the greater good, or at least we believe so, but maybe not, because at the end of issue number 2, there was kind of a twist that could set it up for something completely different. But Rick Remender is such an amazing writer, and Max Fumera's art is absolutely gorgeous. But the other book that made the almost top 2 is The Peacemaker Tries Hard, issue number 6. And this is coming from writer Kyle Starks and has art by Steve Pugh? I'm going to say Pugh. But guys, this book is so funny. It's so good. It's Peacemaker on a whole nother level of Peacemaker. If you like the Peacemaker HBO Max TV show, like I've said over and over, you guys will like this book, because I laugh out loud every single time I read this book. I'm not going to go into details, but basically Peacemaker is trying to save his dog, Bruce Wayne, from the Brain, and I forgot the gorilla's name. But it is so good. And there were Deadpool baby clones in the last one that Peacemaker had to fight. So funny. So good. It was amazing. But guys, those are the 2 books that are on the almost top 3. But let's go ahead and find out what my top 3 books to read this week are, which is October 4th of 2023. The book that's in the number 3 spot is a first timer for the top 3 list, which is super exciting. I love it when a new book can crack the top 3 list, because I do believe there is a lot of repetition that happens on the top 3. So when a new book can crack it, I love it. And guys, this new book right here is Blue Beetle issue number 2, which comes out this week. I read issue number 1 yesterday, and it was fantastic. fantastic. Now this is written by Josh Torillo and has art by Adrian Gutierrez. The art was stellar. From the first page to the last page, it really stood out as a shining part of this book, but the writing was my favorite part. What Josh did really, really well in this title, in my opinion, is set up the relationship between Ted Kord and Jaime Reyes. Jaime Reyes is the Blue Beetle, and also two new Beetles that he introduced in the previous volume in Jaime Reyes, and what their relationship is going to be. Because Jaime is kind of going to be a mentor to these new Beetles, and he's kind of struggling with how he's going to handle that, and it was written so freaking well. But the mentor relationship between Ted Kord and Jaime Reyes was a highlight of this first issue, and there was a big moment at the end of this issue for Ted Kord, and it sets up so much, and it's gonna be awesome, and I cannot wait to see where this story is going to go. You guys really need to be checking out this volume of the Blue Beetle, and maybe even the previous one that was also written by Josh Torillo. At least I think it was. I will confirm that right here before I put my foot in my mouth. But guys, this title was a lot of fun. The artwork was fantastic, and there has been some banger covers for this book. But guys, that is my number 3 book. Let's go ahead and find out what my number 2 is. Sliding into the number 2 spot on this top 3 list, it's Birds of Prey issue number 2. I read issue number 1 yesterday, and it was fantastic. I knew it was going to be great because this book is written by the writer of Kelly Thompson, and she is a fantastic writer. And this also has art by Leonardo Romero, and his artwork was really freaking cool. It wasn't exactly what I thought it was going to be because I really thought Birds of Prey was going to have a little different of a feel to it, but his art style kind of has like this feeling of like the 80s, but also mixed in with some current elements. It's really cool. I really enjoyed it. It's definitely not something that I did not like. I did like it. It just wasn't what I thought it was going to be. But guys, what really stood out in this book was the writing by Kelly Thompson. It was absolutely fantastic. The beginning part of the story was Black Canary and Green Arrow laying down in bed, and Diana explaining to Ollie that he cannot make this team of badasses that needs to go out and save her little sister, who was captured by some wackos. And her little sister, I didn't know she had a sister, but the sister is her adopted sister, and she was captured by some wackos, and the Black Canary is putting together a team of absolute badasses to go out and save her. And that team is made up of Zealot, Big Barda, Cassandra Cain, and their wild card of Harley Quinn, and also, obviously, the Black Canary. And this team is perfect. Now, the only thing that I did not love about this issue was how Kelly Thompson handled the character of Big Barda, or I should say how she handled the dialogue of Big Barda. She kind of has her set up as one of those characters who's like super strong, but like speaks like she's like doesn't know the English language very well, and it's like kind of like stupid sounding, but she's really strong. Me, Big Barda, I pick things up, I put them down. And I didn't really like that. I really liked how she was written in Tom King's Mr. Miracle story. She was kind of just like another new god that was awesome and amazing, and she didn't have like this speech impediment, basically. I didn't love that. I did not love that, but overall the story itself is really freaking good. I loved Harley Quinn in this issue. She's such a great character in general. But guys, this book is a must read in my opinion, even though I didn't like how Kelly Thompson handled Big Barda. Alright guys, that is my number 2 book. Let's go ahead and find out what my number 1 book that I think you guys should be picking up to read this week. The number 1 book that I think you guys should be picking up this week is not Transformers issue number 1, even though that is the book that I'm most excited to actually get my hands on and read. But that's a new number 1. It was in the new number 1 that I think you guys should be most excited about section. But no, the continuing story that I think you guys should be picking up, because it is an awesome frickin' story, is Poison Ivy issue number 15. Now this is coming from writer G. Willow Wilson and has art by Marcio Takara, and I read issue number 14 yesterday, and it was awesome. It was so freaking good. If you guys have no idea of what's going on with Poison Ivy, I'm going to try to wrap up the previous 14 issues really, really quickly. In the first story arc, which is like the first 6 or 7 issues, Poison Ivy was traveling across America, spreading like these spores as she went, and these spores were like taking out all kinds of people and animals and everything. They were destroying it because she was pissed off. She wanted to like bring down humanity. But as she traveled across the country, she ran into people that reminded her about humanity and how good humanity can be. it was awesome. It was so good. So she went from kind of like a hardcore villain in arc number 1 to kind of like, you know, realizing she was doing wrong and wanting to change herself. And then in the second arc, her spores, which she thought she was stopping, were actually mutating, and she realized she could not stop them anymore. And she ran into some other cool villains and a villain from her past, and she met this HR girl who is continuing on to this third story arc. And she's back in Gotham now. She's with Harley. She is with the love of her life, and she's trying to like regather herself so that way she can go ahead and stop these spores from spreading even more. But they've also introduced this little love triangle of Poison Ivy, the HR girl, and Harley Quinn. And that's really interesting. But I'm really enjoying this whole like Poison Ivy being a villain, but also trying to be a hero at the same time. It's a great dichotomy, and it's awesome. I'm really enjoying it. I think you guys should be enjoying it. And guys, the covers for this book have been so freaking good. The cover A's have been good. The 1 in 25s, the David Nakayamas. There's been so many great covers. There's so many reasons to be picking up this book. And that's why it's in the #1 spot for this week, which is October 4th of 2023. But that is the top 3 books that I think you guys should be picking up this week. So let's go ahead and wrap this video up and find out who won last week's giveaway. Alright guys, we are at the end of the video, and if you guys are still watching this video right now, you guys know exactly what you are. Go ahead and say it with me. You guys are legends. Thank you guys so much for sticking around to the end. It supports the algorithm. Now guys, go ahead and look down. Have you guys hit that like button just yet? If you haven't, do me a favor and smash that like button. It helps push this video out to more people, and more people need to be getting excited for New Comic Book Day every single week because it's the best day of the work week. Now guys, if you guys enjoyed that video and you enjoy comic book content, but you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Get yourself subscribed, hit that bell for notifications, and smash that like button. Alright guys, that is what I gotta say to you guys before we get into the giveaway. Now just as a reminder, I don't have any books to show you. I'm gonna go on mycomicshop.com. I'm gonna order you guys 3 amazing books that I really enjoyed. They're gonna be cover lover picks, amazing stories that I think you guys should read, or maybe some really cool 1 in 25s or something. I don't know what they're gonna be, but they'll be surprises to you when they get to you in the mail. But let's go ahead and cut up close and find out who won last week's giveaway. Alright guys, this is last week's giveaway. I'm going to go ahead and copy and then paste the URL here. Let's go ahead and fetch the comments, but not anything goes. We're going to do a keyword filter. It's going to be I love comic books. And let's go ahead and find out how many people left that in their comment last week. Only 50 people, which is a little less than the last 2 weeks, but that's okay. That means you guys have a better chance of winning these books. But guys, let's go ahead and find out who won last week's giveaway in 3, 2, 1. It is Timothy Troll. Timothy, congratulations. Congratulations, Timothy, on winning last week's giveaway. Now, what I need you to do is go over to Instagram and slide into our DMs and give us your address. I believe you won something on this channel before, but just in case, just give us your address one more time, and I will order 3 awesome comic books to send your way. Editor Bruce here, guys. I totally forgot to tell you how to enter this week's giveaway when I was recording this video earlier, but it's the same rules as always. Number 1, you guys need to live in the United States of America. Number 2, you guys need to be subscribed to the channel. Number 3, you need to leave a comment. And number 4, you need to use the hashtag I love comic books in your comment. And that's it. Alright guys, back to the video. But guys, that's going to do it for today's video. I will be back this week with at least 1 more video. I hope to have 2 more videos, but we are throwing our big October bash this weekend because there are 4 people in our family that have birthdays this month. Stephanie, which was October 2nd, my daughter, Sophia, on October 14th, myself, October 18th, and our youngest son, Jack, on October 27th. And we also have 3, I believe, or 4 nieces and nephews that also have birthdays in October. So we always throw a gigantic bash this weekend. So I might only have 2 videos this week, but I hope to have 3. But guys, that's gonna do it for today. I'll catch you guys at least 1 more time, hopefully 2 before the end of the week. Have yourself a great New Comic Book Day, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.